Good morning. How are y'all? Fern with autism. I have not seen you on here before. So if you're new, welcome. We're going to wait on Facebook. There they are. Good morning, Margaret, Lisa, Jane. Oops, I hit my bracelet, Jane. Margaret, Stephanie, Heidi, Jennifer. Okay, I'm taking my glasses off. I have a new prescription with my glasses. I said I was going to have to get, and I got new glasses and they're new prescription and they're stronger. So when I take them off, like everything is blurry. Like even my face is blurry. Y'all know what I'm talking. People with glasses know what I'm talking about. It's like, I hate my hair short, just to let you know. I say that every time, but I do. I don't like it. And all I want to do is put it up because I feel naked with no hair. Anyway, but I'm gonna do what my hairdresser says. I'm just gonna stick it up because you know why? So yesterday I had a reporter here, and the reporter was interviewing me, and I was taking her to the farm to show her the animals. We were standing there, and I was telling her about Quacky Jackie, the one-legged duck. And then we're here, and right here, a tree falls. We were that close to that tree. If I would have taken her to the big animals, we would have gotten hit. And me and her sat there with anxiety through the roof because this was a big tree and it hit my chicken coop where my rescue ducks were. And so today I get to go clean that mess up. And today the weather is like in the 30s. The group home comes today, and I'm sitting here going, do you think I could talk the group home into helping me pick up this tree? I don't know. It's probably too cold for them. And, oh, wait, I forgot. It's against the law for the group home to go into my farm. I forgot. So, no, they can't help me because it's against the law for them to be in my farm. Even saying this out loud seems so, excuse my French, but stupid to me. I have to tell y'all, I feel under attack. It is like every day it's something. Every single day it's something. So that leads me to a story. So I left off Monday about Toyota. I told you guys that I got a letter from Toyota, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I got off the phone with y'all, I had a number that someone referred me to, a lawyer. And so I went and did animals and all that stuff. And then, I don't know, like 9 or 10 o'clock after I had done my farm chores, I called the lawyer. And I said, look, they're wanting to sell this car in 4 days. Like, I need an appointment like yesterday. And she goes, can you come in today at 3 o'clock? And I said, yes. Well, That's weird. I said, yes. Hang on. I do see that. I blocked them. I blocked that. So anyway, I said, she said, can you be here at 3:00? And I said, yes. And this law office is an hour and 20 minutes away from me. And I started going, what am I going to do with Larry? And so I had to go to the bank, my bank too, to get some things in writing. So I was like, I can't leave Larry for like 4 hours by himself, So I was talking to the hospice people because they were here giving, Larry, checking Larry. And they were like, Judy, he can get up. It's not like he's totally bedridden. He can get up and go to the bathroom as long as you make sure he has everything what he needs. I think he's fine to stay by himself. Well, when I think about doing that, it gives me anxiety because I'm so afraid something would happen and then I wouldn't be here. So she said, let's just use it as a test run. You have a camera. You can check the phone. You can dial 911. The nurse is coming at 12:30, so they will be able to come in here and check on him. Like, I think you're going to be okay. So I said, okay. Well, I left the house. I went and got him a barbecue sandwich because he was wanting barbecue. I brought it back to the house, and then I left the house to go to the bank. And when I got to the bank said, they're closing for lunch, so they won't be back till 1:30. And I thought, well, shoot, I can't wait till 1:30 because I have to be at the law firm at 3:00, and it's an hour and a half away. So I sat there in the bank for just a minute, and all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up with my security camera. And I'm like, but it's not, we have cameras everywhere, just to let you know. Okay, we have cameras everywhere. So it wasn't Larry's camera going off. It was someone was at my house going off. And sometimes, it's UPS or something like that. And so I'm in the bank parking lot and I look at the camera and there's this lady on my front porch. And I was like, oh my God, Larry. I was just like panicking. I was in a total panic and I was not close to my house. And so I'm watching the cameras like a hawk. And she goes off my porch. So I went to my next camera and there's this man walking around in the patio area, just like looking around. And I'm like, I'm panicking because all I can think about is Larry. I'm like, do I call 911? Do I call the police? What do I do? So I sat on the camera watching this lady and man. And they're not leaving. They're not leaving. They're just like hanging out at my house. So the great thing about our security cameras is it has a voice. So I got on it. I said, can I help you? And they're like, because they can't see me, right? And they're like, where are you at? Where are you at? I don't see you. And I'm like, it's because I'm on the security camera. What do you need? Why are you on my property? And this lady, she sees the camera. So she walks up and she's yelling. She's like, do you know Richard somebody? And I'm like, no. Why are you here? And she said, I'm here because I got to think of the words she said. I bought a porta coupe from you. I'm like, oh dear. I bought a porta coupe. I said, what is a porta coupe? She goes, a thing to put my animals in. I knew exactly what was going on. She got scammed. So I said, "Man," and I'm thinking, "How am I going to explain this through a freaking camera?" And she kept going, "Can you come outside and face me face to face?" And I did not want to tell her, you know, I'm not there, because Larry was there. And I was just, and I said, ma'am, my name is Judy Sneed. I have a following on Facebook, because this is all Facebook. This is not YouTube. I said, I have a following on Facebook. And in the past couple of years, as my page has grown, I said, unfortunately, people say that my chicken coop or my donkey's for sale. And then you pay a deposit to a scammer. And then you drive to my house because you look on Facebook and you go, oh, this girl's got a big following. She's legit. And instead of calling me on the phone to make sure I'm legit, you pull in my driveway. So, ma'am, you've been scammed. I have not sold the porta coop. No, the porta hut. That's what she said. A porta hut. I said, ma'am, the porta hut is a chicken coop, and it's called a castle coop. It's a castle. It's not a hut. It's not for sale. This poor lady, she went from, I said, I'm sorry, but you've been scammed. Will you please leave my property? And I sat there and I was like, why am I under attack? Like, what the crap? I'm like, I'm just like, what more can happen? Like, I almost feel like a crazy person. And I called Shane, and I'm snapshotting pictures of the couple that's in our driveway. And they leave. They were a nice couple. I mean, they were mad because they thought I was scamming them. And, that could have went really bad. That could have went really, really bad. Thank God it didn't. But I thought, this is why I can't leave my house. And I don't leave my house very often. If I leave my house, it's to run to get feed and come back, or run and get us lunch and come back. I don't go shopping. I can't. Because crap like this has happened. I'm going to say it's happened at least 6 to 10 times. I mean, not long ago, this man drove 4 hours. He pulls in my yard with the trailer, and as soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, oh God, he's been scammed. He pulled in my driveway. He drove 4 hours one way to buy my coop. I said, sir, first of all, your little bitty trailer can't even hold my big oak coop. I said, but the coop's not for sale. You've been scammed. And he goes, I just drove 4 hours. I don't know why you jokers don't call me on the phone. My phone number is out there. Why are you driving 4 hours? We're talking to people on the phone to find out if they're legit before you give them money. I don't know what to tell you. When y'all go look on Facebook and you see that I have a big following, that doesn't mean that's me. I don't sell things. Not really. I don't sell animals to anybody. I don't sell my chicken coops. If I do, it's me, because I will talk to you on the telephone. So I go to the lawyer's office because I know I have to go because I have 4 days, right? I have 4 days until they're selling the car. So I go to the law firm. I tell her I take all my paperwork, the title to the car, the letters I'm getting from Toyota, everything with me, all my paperwork, names, everything. I go and I present to her the case. And she said, "You have a legit reason to be here." But she said, "Judy, what it's going to cost you in court cost is more than what the car is even worth. And we're going to go to court and we may or may not win. I don't know how the judge is going to rule. And you're going to spend all this money to go to court because you are right, but that doesn't mean the judge is going to see that." She said, "What Toyota is going to fight is you stop payment on the check." I said, "No, I didn't." She goes, "Well, when you do a fraud claim, it does that." I said, "But I did it because they said they didn't get the check." And she goes, "I know that. And you are right. But I don't know if the judge is going to look at it that way because you do owe the money." And she said, "It's not worth it." I said, "Well, what do I do?" She goes, "Let's do this. Let me write a letter to Toyota. Let me write a letter and ask them for the breakdown of what you owe." I said, "Oh, this is going to be interesting." She said, "They may or may not respond to me." So I had to pay to have a letter written. It wasn't thousands of dollars, so it wasn't terrible. It was just a couple of $100. So, that made me happy. And so she said, "But you have to know they may not respond to me." She goes, "But can I tell you this? There's no way they can sell that car because you have the title." And she said, "Toyota is doing things backwards. You'd think they would come after you for the title first because it's the title what they need to sell the vehicle. And there's no way they can sell the vehicle when you have the title in yours and Larry's name. So they cannot sell the car Thursday." She said, "Because your power of attorney, they can't come after you financially." I said, "Well, that's good." She said, "But they can come after Larry." So what happens is they take the car to auction and she said they usually just sell it to each other because they can get a good deal on it. So like usually an employee buys it. And let's say that he owes $20,000. Let's just say, okay? If they sell the car for $5,000, which this is a 2023 top of the line Camry that would cost over $40,000. Okay? So obviously the car is worth more than $5,000. But if they sell the car for $5,000, then Larry is going to get sued for $15,000. They can come after Larry for that. I'm like, "What do I do?" And she said, "If it was you, your credit, your money, I would say it would be worth the fight. But your dad is on hospice. At this point in life, we're not really worried about his credit." And she said, "All I can do is write the letter, hope that they respond, and we come to a settlement." And I said, "Well, if this was your dad, what would you do?" She said, "I'd let it all go." I said, Well, I said, if they, she goes, they're coming after you for the title. When this is all said and done, they're coming after you personally for the title. I said, well, what do I do? She goes, you sign it over to them. I'm like, well, then they win. And she said, Judy, you don't have to be wrong for them to win. Sometimes in life, you're right and they still win. I'm like, I literally want to get in a fist fight. I'm like, I want to drive up to Toyota and get in a fist fight. At this point in life, I am so mad because I'm not in the wrong. I tried to pay them before and they wouldn't accept a wire, which is weird to me. I said, if this happens, I'm going to be so angry. And then I'm going to have to go to therapy to get over my anger. Because even though Larry's on hospice, I don't want him to ruin his credit. It probably already has been ruined because they repossessed it. But I'm like, I have to live with this. So we are going to, she's writing the letter. Hopefully they respond. If they respond, then maybe we can come to a settlement agreement. But I don't feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Paying, let's just say, $20,000 for a car that's not, I don't even know what it looks like right now. I don't even know where the daggum car is. They're telling me I can go get the belongings well, where's the flipping car? Why do I have to write a letter to you to find out where my stupid car is? I mean, I'm mad. I'm mad. So what do you do when you have anger like this? Because I have a legit reason to be angry. I mean, it's dumb that I have to drive an hour and a half to a lawyer's office because of the things that are going on. And the bottom line is the problem that is held, it is not my bank that is in the wrong. It is Toyota. My bank called Toyota to find out if they had the check. Toyota told my bank they did not have the check. So that's why there was a stop payment on the check, because the check was cashed. So anyway, it's jacked up. So what do you do when you're in the right and everything is wrong? I have no clue. I wish I had the answer. I'm like, I need to call my counselor and process this because, I don't even know how to break it down because I'm right. You know, the lawyer's telling me I'm right. My bank is telling me I'm right. But Toyota's telling me I'm wrong and they repossessed the car. So if you're right and you lose, what do? And maybe you can't relate to me and quote the situation with this vehicle, but have you ever been right and everything is wrong? I mean, maybe in a friendship, where you're like, I know I'm right, but they're telling me I'm wrong. Have you ever been in that situation? So somehow, some way, at this point, I want you to somehow find a story in your head where this has happened to you, where you were right the entire time and everyone is telling you that you're wrong. what do you do? I mean, and the thing that's bad is because you're in the right, but there's a chance that Larry's not going to get his car back and we still owe $15,000 and there's nothing I can do about it. Doesn't that make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside? And I guess, do you know what makes me feel good though? This is terrible, okay? But I'm like, I got the title, you jackleg. Go sell that car. But at the end of the day, I have the title. And I don't know if they haven't figured that out yet. Maybe not. But you would think they'd know I have the title. But it makes me go, sell the car Thursday, you jackleg. It makes me giggle a little bit, but that's ugly, y'all. That's ugly. That's ugly. But I feel like being ugly. They're ugly, that I feel like being ugly. And when she told me, when they come after me for the title, that just sign it over because it's not worth the fight, I'm like, oh crap, yeah, it is worth the fight. I'm going to be. I've never been in, okay, yeah, I've been in one fist fight in my life. I told y'all that story. But I'm like, I'm just upset. So I'll tell you what I'm doing right now. I haven't been sleeping well because I wake up in the middle of the night feeling guilty. Like, I feel sorry for Larry, you know? And Larry knows the whole story, but so the way I'm taking care of myself is taking a melatonin every night because I can't sleep. So the melatonin, I'm not really one to take. I mean, melatonin is a natural, so it ain't like I'm taking a drug to knock myself out, but it is helping me sleep. So that is one thing that I'm doing. You know how I was talking to you guys about the what ifs, what ifs, what ifs, what ifs? Can I do that? My lawyer didn't say I could do that. I'll try. I have to take care of myself because I have to be strong to handle whatever's fixing to be faced at me. And it just seems like things are piling on. I'm like, Lord, I can't leave the house for a second with someone pulling the driveway thinking they're going to go get my coupe. You know, it's just like, I hadn't even walked in the education center to see if it's flooded. I'm like, I did go outside this morning because, you know, we had storm last night, and the damage that I have is just the tree is down and there's limbs everywhere. So it's a bunch of cleanup work, but nothing is damaged. Thank God. The peacock enclosure is still there. Oh Lord. So I think I sat there yesterday and I'm like, I'm under attack and I don't know what to do. Like, every time I turn around, it is something. And I hate it. Like, I just want to be at peace. And I'm like, I feel like this is your fault. It's your fault. I'm like, am I going through all this because someone needs to see me be strong? Like, dadgum. Like, what is it? And I was like, I was sitting there getting interviewed yesterday by that reporter, and I was like, I'm under attack. I like my farm. Like, let me just tell you all that has happened in the past couple of weeks. My farm has got closed down. People are pulling in the driveway. You know, now I'm sitting here thinking, you know, my farm is closed to the public, but I can let friends come here come here to my farm. Well, now I'm working for free. And I have bills to pay. And I'm sitting here going, now I'm going to be doing tours for free. And like, how do I do this? Like, how do I pay the bills for free? When everything is for free, how do I pay the bills? Like, I feel just under attack. So, as I was talking to that lady, the reporter yesterday, I said, I feel like I talk about mental health on social media. Not all the time. I don't just sit here and talk about mental health in every situation that I do. I do have a YouTube channel that I talk about having a farm, and I'm kind of a funny person, and the relationship with Shane and I said, but I feel like that I'm going through these things so that I can talk about it and help someone else. And it sucks. But at the end of the day, you're no different from me. I mean, maybe your life is not total chaos like me, and maybe some of you have total chaos like me. But at the end of the day, there's 110 eyes on me. And then 500 to 1,000 people replay it on YouTube. So let's just say 1,100 people watch it on YouTube. I really don't know how many people. It's usually like 5,000 or more watch it on Facebook on the replay. So let's just say 6,000 to 7,000 people hear what I have to say in the mornings on Mondays and Wednesdays. And when I really sit and think about that, I'm like, if I have to go through this to help someone else, God chose me, a strong person, to go through it. So don't feel sorry for me, because I feel like there's a purpose and there's a reason why all this is happening. And I feel like sometimes it's hard to think about that when you're in the middle of it. Like when I was sitting at the bank and there's these two people walking around my house and I know that Larry's home alone, I'm like, holy shiitake mushrooms. Oh my God, I'm about to have a freaking heart attack right this minute. But it all worked out. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, the lady was kind of rude. Come out here. I'm like, I'm on the security camera. I paid you money. No, you didn't. My name is Judy Sneed. I'm not Richard. Although the man that you paid was named Richard, do you know the short name for Richard? That's what he was. He jacked you up. Just saying. But I'm thinking in my head, it could have gone really bad, but it didn't. It went fine. It went fine. Larry was safe. My coop was safe. I'd much rather them take my coop than take Leroy, because I don't know, at least 3 people have been in the driveway with the utility trailer to get Leroy. And I would flip my lid if someone really thought that I was jacking them over on their deposit and they went in there and got Leroy. Of course, I don't really think Leroy would go. And just to let you know, I think Dexter and Dee Dee would flip their lid. And I would think that person would not go into my farm. But there's some cray-crays out there, and you never know. But when I called Shane and I said, Shane, we've got to get Gates. We have got to get Gates. So that's on the honey-do list, to get Gates. I don't know when it'll happen, but I almost feel like that needs to be the priority. So when you have anger and you can't seem to let go of the anger, who is it hurting? Is it hurting Toyota? Is it hurting Larry? It's hurting me, right? It's hurting me when I have anger and I can't let go of it. And how do you let go of it when you're right and no one will listen to you? That's hard. It's hard when you're right. And you're being treated like a criminal. You went and stopped payment on the check. Dude, go check my credit score. Go check my credit score, then come back and tell me that I'm go check my background check. Do I look like I would be a criminal? Like, really? Like, really? But I don't know. I think at this point, when people tell you that you're wrong and they treat you like you're a criminal, at the end of the day, it reminds me, this is the first thing that comes to my mind, is I told you guys when I started Sneed's Farmhouse, hang on. When I started my farm, it started with chickens. And I used to sell chickens, okay? People knew me for chickens. People called me to buy baby chicks. And this is before anything started, okay? And when I decided that I wanted to go further with, I hated selling chickens. I didn't like the people that came and bought them because I was scared they weren't going to take care of them. I just didn't enjoy it. And so I knew that that was not for me. And I became a nonprofit. And all these people attacked me. They were just ugly to me, told me I was robbing the system, that I wasn't a nonprofit, that I was selling chickens, but they didn't know me. They didn't know my personality. All they knew is that I sold chickens and I became a nonprofit. So they began to cast judgment upon me and they were telling me I was wrong. In the beginning of Sneed's Farmhouse, I spent many of days depressed because people were telling me I was a thief. People were telling me that they weren't a fan of my nonprofit gig. People were attacking me. And I remember just bawling my eyes out all the time. because it was almost as if I started believing I was that person that they were telling me that I was. Until Shane said, "Judy, go look in the mirror and tell me who you are." I said, "I'm a good person." "Are you a thief?" "No." Are you this bad person that these people are saying about you?" "No." And at the time, I didn't really know that I was going to be doing field trips. I just knew that I wanted to give back what God had blessed me with. But at this point in Sneed's farmhouse, I knew I was going to do tours because I'd already started doing tours, but I didn't really know where I was going. So I had a lot of insecurities that they're saying I'm a thief because I'm a nonprofit, Shane. How am I going to give back? And that's when the group home started coming. And when I went and looked in the mirror and Shane said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm not who they say I am." "Judy, push them out of the way." I'm like, "I know, but they're the only friends I have because I moved here not knowing anyone. So these people that bought chickens from me and these other farms were my friends. They're the only friends I had." And I was losing all my friends right in front of my face, being told I was wrong, that all these negative things. And I felt defeated. But Shane was like, "Move them out of the way. Move them out of the way." So one by one, I took my phone and I was like, block, block, block. I blocked. There was probably 10 or 15 farms that I had to block on my phone because when I saw them on my page, it was a trigger to me. So for my own mental health, I had to wipe them out because they were distracting me from moving forward. Once I made the decision to get them out, I was able to move forward and do what God was calling me to do. So I reflect back on that situation and how do I relate it to what's going on today? I don't know what the future holds with this car. I don't. But at the end of the day, I need to do the right thing. I know that I owe money for this car because I mailed the check. They said they didn't get it. My bank stops payment. They give me the money back. So I'm sitting there with this money in my account. When I go to the bank, they're like, "Don't spend it. Leave it there because we could take it back." I sit there and hold. Toyota calls me and says, "Hey, we found the check. We're sending you the title." Great, it's all over with. So I'm thinking my bank is going to take the money back, right? So at the end of the day, through this whole situation, I know in my heart there's nothing I did wrong. I know in my heart. But at the end of the day, Toyota is owed money according to my bank. But the reason the Toyota does not have the money is because Toyota said they did not receive the check, although they cashed the check and didn't apply the money to Larry's account. So in my heart, I know that I'm right. I know that I'm not a thief. I didn't stop payment on the check. I wasn't trying to steal the car. At the end of the day, nobody has sent me anything in writing. I know I'm in the right. So I don't feel like God's going to let me down. Does that mean that everything's going to go in my favor? Probably not. I mean, if they don't respond and they try to sell the car, I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know in my heart that the money is owed. Does that mean I'm going to pay all these back fees and bull crap? No, I'm not. I'm not doing that to Larry. I have to be very frugal with Larry's money. And I'm not, as power of attorney, I will stand strong for my dad. I don't care what crap I have to go through. I'm power of attorney. He is my dad, and I will take care of him. And no one is running over my dad. I will go to battle. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how it's going to end up, but I do know my lawyer told me just because you are right doesn't mean you're going to win. So at the end of the day, if I have to pay all this money and we don't get the car back, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't have however much money it costs, or Larry doesn't have, to go to court and fight for this. She said it would cost more money than the car's worth. So is it really worth the money for us to fight when we're going to be upside down at the end of the day? Even if I win, I'm upside down because I have all these lawyer fees. And I'm going to court paying all this money on I may or may not win. It's not fair, is it? But in life, things are not fair. But at the end of the day, what is fair is how God sees me, how you see me, how I see me. And at the end of the day, I just have to keep doing things right. Even though I'm a human being, I want to be ugly and go, you ain't getting this title. Fight me. I'm going to drag you through the ringer. You're not getting the title. Go sell the car. Go sell it. That's my human, unchristian-like heart that wants to kick in. It does. That's what I want to do because I'm a human being. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I told Shane, I said, well, we could just go buy, a $5,000-$8,000 car. At least Larry would have a vehicle to get in, if I needed to take him to the eye doctor or something like that. But I don't want to do that until I know what's fixing to happen. Are y'all learning any lesson from this? It would be nice if you learned some type of lesson that you could tell me. Because I will tell you that sometimes when you guys email me or send me a private message and you're like, Aunt Judy, your situation helped me with this. It helps me, believe it or not. I'm like, okay, I'm going through this for a reason. At least it helped this one person. At least I'm just not going through this for no reason at all. So it does help me when you guys comment and respond to me, because I do read them. And it helps me. You know where it helps you to know you're not alone? It helps me to know that I'm not alone, because sometimes in life we feel all alone. We feel like no one cares and we're dealing with this all by ourselves, and you feel like you just feel alone. I do too. I'm no different from you. I feel, even though I'm sharing, I still feel all alone. Even with this my video that's coming out Thursday. It was a big lesson that I learned Thursday, and I put it into a video. And I worked really hard on trying to show y'all what I have to do to stay well. Because I am easily, in my life, the person that gets in left field. I appear to be very strong. I am strong, but I'm also very weak. Like, I'm strong in front of you, but when I hit the end button and go by myself, it's like I'm easily to go into a depression or to get in left field. I'm very strong on camera. I am, because I'm strong for you, because I love you and I want you to know that you can do this. But sometimes when I'm out by myself, I don't feel as strong as I feel when I'm sitting here with you. I feel very weak. But it takes me a minute when I'm by myself to get to where I need to be. It's not like it just comes to me. It takes a minute. Like when Shane makes me mad or Larry makes me mad, I have to go get by myself. Because if I don't, I'm going to be in crazy land. Because my brain, it's almost like I can't think and have people in front of me at the same time. It doesn't work. It doesn't. And when I'm able to get by myself is the moment that I can have clarity of what I need to do to take care of myself. Because I can feel the anxiety coming. I can feel the depression coming. I can feel all that like nervousness and all that creeping up inside me. And it doesn't feel good at all. It doesn't. Do you ever feel like that? Like you get off this live and you're like, oh, I can do this. I'll give you an example. So, Monday I told you, okay, what are the things I can control? I can control what goes in my mouth. I can control what I drink. I can control all those things, right? Well, this is what happened Monday. I was gun-ho on making good decisions. Monday, I was strong as an ox, right? I was strong as an ox. I'm going to make good decisions. Well, I got off my live. I went and did my animals. At 10 o'clock, I called the lawyer. And I found out I had to go to the bank and go to the lawyer's office. So I had to leave here like at 11:30. Well, Larry wanted me to go get him a barbecue sandwich before I left. And I was like, what am I going to eat? I hadn't ate breakfast. Okay. So I've already skipped a meal, which means I'm starving to death at this point, right? Because I skipped a meal. So I was like, okay, what do I do? Larry wants a barbecue sandwich. Well, where I went to get him a barbecue sandwich, all they sell is barbecue sandwiches. So it wasn't like I could get a grilled chicken sandwich or something like that. And I was like, now what do I do? This is the only opportunity I have to eat because I have to go to the bank and I have to go to the lawyer is to get this barbecue sandwich. So then I was like, I guess I'm getting myself a barbecue sandwich. And then I got in the car and I'm eating the barbecue sandwich. I'm like, I'm already a train wreck. I told the backup dancers I was going to make good decisions today. And here I am just eating this barbecue sandwich that's a jumbo because that's all they have. And I was like, ah. And I thought in my mind, I talk about Al-Anon a lot, right? And I could hear my sponsor going, do the next right thing. Do the next right thing. And I was like, the only thing that I could do, the only opportunity I had, because it wasn't planned, I was in a hurry. And when you're in a hurry, what do? You go through fast food line. And you try to make good decisions. I was like, all right, listen, Judy, the backup dancers can't see that you're a train wreck, right? Just eat the flipping barbecue sandwich and go. And so I sat in the car and I was stressed out because I was having to leave Larry. I was scared to leave Larry, but I knew I had to get this stuff done. I ate the barbecue sandwich because I knew in my head, if I did not take care of myself and eat, my blood sugar was going to drop. I was going to feel sick, and I would not perform my best in the law office because I would have distractions from starving. So the next right thing I needed to do was eat and take care of myself. Barbecue is probably not the best decision, but I needed to take care of myself in that moment. And the next best thing that I could do is eat the barbecue sandwich and be done with it and make a good decision for supper. Ate the barbecue sandwich. I felt 100% better. I felt energized because I wasn't starving. I took it to Larry. I went to the bank and I was able to finish out the day strong because I fueled my body. That was the next best thing for myself, is to eat. So you see how I could have go, oh God, I told the backup dancer I was going to make a good decision, and I'm eating this freaking pork barbecue sandwich, and but my brain went there. My brain, because my brain is jacked up when it comes to eating, right? It is. It's jacked up, and I know that. I know that. So in my head, I was like, okay, Judy, what is important right now? What's important for me is to have mental clarity and have physical strength to get me an hour and a half down the road, to get through this interview with the bank, to get to the interview through the law office. So this is the next best thing for me to do, is to fuel my body. Is it the best decision? No. But it is what it is. Sometimes you're faced with situations that you're like, well, I guess I'll start over Tuesday. I said I was starting over Monday, but now I'm starting over Tuesday. Oh, crap. Now I'm starting over Wednesday. It is what it is. It is what it is. Just do the next best thing that you can do and take care of yourself in the best way you know how. Okay, guys. It's time to go. I'm sitting here thinking in my head, I'll show YouTube a picture. Let's talk about Cinco real quick. I can't find the picture. Just know a tree fell in my daggum chicken yard. Cinco. Will y'all allow me to brag for just a second? Just be patient with me and hear me out. I feel like I'm bragging on myself, but I just need a minute. I sat there and I watched Cinco have that baby. And recently I watched Honey have a baby. And I looked at Shane. I said, Shane, is it not an awesome feeling to know that we are so hands-on with our animals that Cinco is sitting there letting them love all over her baby like Dee Dee lets us. And Dee Dee lets us love on her baby. Like she let us love all over Cinco. She let us love all over Skipper, all our animals. We've never had an animal that would not let us get close to the baby. Ever. Shishi, Georgia Lee, even though Georgia Lee is skittish because she wasn't raised by me, she let me love all over Taterbug. And to this day, Taterbug and Hey Mickey, because they were raised by hands-on people, the most gentle animal ever. Not one time have we ever had a baby born on our farm that we were not allowed to put a 2-year-old, a 6-month-old. Do you remember a 6-month-old baby was laying across Cinco taking pictures, and Cinco just lays there. And I sat and watched Cinco, and she was allowing them to get around her baby. And I said, Shane, we made that happen. We raised these animals where we're around them 24/7. Now, I'm not saying that Chestnut Hills didn't continue to be active with Cinco, but Cinco was hands-on from the day she was born. When she was born, I put my scent all over her. And I knew to do that because when you put your scent all over, she knows your smell and she begins to trust you from day one. And I sit and watch Honey. And Honey, the mama donkey, was basically feral. Now, she's come a long way since my neighbors got her. Okay? She's come a long, long way because they are hands-on with her. But Honey was very protective of Pickles. Don't you get near my baby. Because she was raised feral. But it's funny to me because Georgia Lee was raised feral. And Georgia Lee let me touch Taterbug the entire time. But I think it's because I delivered Taterbug, where Pickles wasn't delivered by them. Honey did everything. But just recently, Honey was letting my neighbor love all over the baby. And I realized in that moment when I heard about all this, I have not had a chance to go back over there with Pickles. I do plan to go live and let y'all see Pickles up close and personal. I just hadn't had a chance to do it. I've had a lot going on. But taking time with an animal, it is amazing what happens when you spend time with them every single day. And when I watched Cinco, and I'm like, look at Cinco. Because in the video, Zoe's trying to be cautious to see if Cinco was going to let her touch the baby. And Nick was in the background saying, cows, a lot of times cows do not let you get around their calves. He's saying that. And I'm thinking in my head, I didn't know if Cinco would do it. But I thought in my head when I saw Cinco could care less that Zoe was all over that baby. And Mac was out there, her daughter, all over the baby. I thought, good job, Judy. You raised Cinco to be a trusting, loving cow. And I felt proud of myself. I know that sounds like I'm bragging on myself, but I sat there and I was like, that I'm thankful that Shane and I can raise these babies here at Sneed's Farmhouse, that they can go to a home where they're like my animals. Because every single animal that we've ever passed on to someone else, when I watch the videos, the pigs, just from them taking a little bit of time, they're so gentle because I was laying on the ground, giving them kisses and all this stuff. My pigs are so gentle because I was hands-on with them. They're not feral. They had kids around them from the day they were born. And a lot of times people would judge me and go, you're going to get those kids hurt. She's going to attack because she's going to be an overprotective mom. I'm like, she does not know any better. She had, from the time she was 6 weeks old, is used to kids, is used to me laying on her, used to me singing to her. She trusts me. She trusts me. And not one baby has ever been born on my farm where the mom was protective. And it's because I'm a hands-on petting zoo. I have people in the farm all the time. Now, when Jack and Jill's babies get here, that might be a whole different ball game. I don't know what's going to happen when Jill has her babies. She was sitting on her eggs yesterday. She's laid 4 eggs now. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think they may be a little protective, but we'll see. But I felt watching that video, I told Shane, I said, I'm not saying that I get all the credit for that because Zoe and Nick, you know, obviously have continued to be hands-on with Cinco, but Cinco is definitely a petting zoo type cow, and it was the perfect home for someone with kids because Cinco is so gentle, very gentle. It made me proud. I did message Nick and Zoe and said, hey, can I come see Cinco and Bruno? You know, they named it Bruno. I said, can I make an arrangement to come see them? And they said yes. So I do plan to go see Cinco in person. And I'm going to tell you, Cinco is absolutely beautiful. I don't care what anybody says. Cinco is drop dead gorgeous. Skipper, I plan to go. Skipper's parents were here this week working on my chicken coop, and I'm going to go see Skipper soon too. But I feel really proud that we raise animals like that. I do. And I feel proud that people are proud to give their animals to me because they know that they're going to go to a good, loving home like Bill Reynolds, you know. He's rotten. God bless, he's rotten. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. The group home will be here. The center will be here today. And I am going to go see Pickles today, I hope. So be looking for my Thursday video. It's a lesson to be learned. If you're in a marriage or in a relationship, it's a good video to watch because it's kind of a mental health kind of video, but it's with me and Shane working together. So remember, today is Wednesday and you have a choice. Sitting it out is, even though you know you're right, things are still wrong. Sitting it out would be to let that consume your brain. At the end of the day, I know I was right. And that's worth something to dance about, is there's nothing I can say that I would have done differently. And at that point is when you have to release and go, you know what? I'm right, but it still doesn't mean that I'm going to win. I'm going to lose being right. And it seems sad, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We don't always win, even though we're right. So y'all remember that. I'll see y'all next week. I'm going to try to go live with Honey. It's going to be on YouTube. So if you're on Facebook, you need to go subscribe to my YouTube channel. It does not cost money to subscribe. My aunt was like, Judy, I can't subscribe. I don't have the money. I'm like, you don't have to have money to subscribe to YouTube. It's free. So if you want to see Honey live, you're going to have to go there. Unfortunately, Facebook is a whole different ballgame. YouTube is the way to go. Love you.